Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're here for the 2023 Maricopa Open, presented by Infinite Disc. The Copper Sky Disc Golf Course will be our host today, as this man, Anthony Barela, currently holding a 4-stroke lead over Andrew Marwede, even more over Bhrahsten Waugh, and rounding out our card, Discraft's own Aaron Gossage. Some of our usual suspects that we've been seeing here in the early goings of 2023. They're all part of that Arizona swing we know so much about. We're ready to go on the tee of one. Again, Barela, 4 strokes over Marwede, 7 over Bhrahsten, as well as 7 over Gossage. That will come up short and left, but certainly safe. A very similar shot there for Marwede. And Bhrahsten hits early and is going to land out of bounds. He'll go to the drop zone. Now we have Aaron Gossage. As I said, 7 back of our leader in Barela. That looks like it's coming in hot, and that's going to be out of bounds on that high right side. So Gossage will have a look at saving par. Bhrahsten comes out of Surprise, Arizona. A 992 rating. Gossage brings it back as 1 meter. As you can see, he's pin high. Roughly circles edge here. Solid par save. Frustrated, of course, for the OB stroke, but walking away with the best score after it. Now remember, Barela finished out the previous 9 at 9 under. Of course, that was 21 hours ago or so, but finished out the back 9 yesterday's round with 9 under. That included 1 par and 1 eagle and 7 birdies. Just short for his birdie attempt here. So immediately opening the door for Marwede to possibly get 1 stroke on him. And as the stats back up, Marwede not one for missing putts, not at least inside circle 1 ever. Hovers around that 92, 93% for an entirety of a year. Putting from inside the circle, it's pretty ridiculous. Bhrahsten's going to pick up the bogey and lose some ground here. And with that, they'll head over to hole number 2. Hole 2, I was going to say straightforward, but there's actually a ton of OB here. Not that Marwede's concerned about it. Just deep of the pin, 340 feet. Looks like a park job and likely a second birdie in a row. We've seen everything from an ace to a triple bogey during the previous round. And, well, not too far off the pace there is AB's drive. He's also parked. That's going to be out of bounds for Gossage, which means he'll immediately go to the first drop zone. All right, Bhrahsten also making it look easy. This is coming in a little hot. And it skips off. So that's going to be another OB added. And now finally getting to the closest drop zone, so to speak. And really frustrating. We saw this in round number 2. Almost the exact same thing. OB off the tee, OB from the first drop zone. A pitch up to here. Still a little meat left on this and probably some frustration. He finds high chain and a huge bite out of the Gossage scorecard. That's going to be a triple bogey 6. And talk about stroke and swing separations. I guess I mentioned earlier, I mean, we've seen as much as an ace all the way up to now multiple triple bogeys taking place on this hole. We're also seeing more wind today. It's been pretty calm during rounds 1 and 2, which took place on Friday and Saturday. And now a little more wind. Not hold on to your hat and, you know, your disc is going to flip over or your mini is going to blow away kind of wind, but definitely more than the previous 2 days. You guys also know, hold on to your hats. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty fresh cliche out there. My disc in a box. For all your disc shipping needs, I've got you covered. Reach out to me. Now, Marwede. Short right side, but he'll have a look for birdie. So far, he's 2 for 2. And Barela skies that one. The miss here, though, is short. You certainly do not want to go long. That's the one mistake you make. You're going to find yourself out of bounds. Or if you do go long and OB, do it right next to the pin. Go just directly behind it. That'll leave you with a very short return putt for par. And that's also way out to the left side and checks up short of out of bounds. Let's see how Gossage can bounce back after the triple bogey. And that's going to be left side and workable. Or more center, I should say. Bang, bang. Barela making up for it with the putt. So Barela is still going to pick up a birdie, and then that puts him 2 down for the round. Bhrahsten off the front of the cage. Marwede roughly circles edge. Marwede comes into this with a 10-29, gets the right side corner pocket. Barela, a 10-38 rating. I mentioned earlier, Bhrahsten rated 992, and Gossage 1029. And off to a rough start here for Gossage. We've seen the OB on 1. We saw double OBs on 2, and that one just slides out the right side for him. He's going to remain 3 over for the round. And what was a 7-stroke deficit for Gossage has now turned into a 12-stroke deficit. Great looking shot for Marwede. That should work for AB. He'll have a look. No, it's tough to necessarily get a look even here from the pin. I said it in the last round. You have pretty much the exact same shot. The pin is directly straight ahead at 12 o'clock. And whether you go forehand or backhand, you're pretty much putting the exact same angle on it, just mirroring one or the other. It's an equal opportunity shot. Gossage got hung up on the right side, not clearing this tree, so he's just going to have a pitch up and unfortunately going to have to settle for a par. AB makes light work of it. He's 3 out of 4. And even closer is Marwede. So Marwede keeping the pressure on in every possible way. This is for him to go 4 down through 4. So 3 out of 4 will walk away with birdies. They'll make the short trip across the road. We'll head over to hole number 5. Hole 5 features a Mando, which the players must navigate to the left of. Once they've gone left of the pole, that's right about the pole, I should say, is located roughly right where there's a ditch, a rock ditch of sorts, and that is treated as if it's an out-of-bounds river that's flowing directly through the middle of the fairway. However, you're obviously able to go past the fake river, so to speak. You just basically can't land in it. That's where you're seeing those blue flags that might be marking both the Mando and what we're seeing for the OB ditch. And a solid second shot. That'll put him right there for the birdie. And I may have mentioned it in rounds 1 and 2, but we've actually seen 3 or 4 different sets of holes out in this space throughout the last couple of years. There's been some rocks and dirt and other earth that's been moved around throughout the years to make some crazy mounds and hillsides and all sorts of things that have been part of the property out here. So if you've watched footage over the last few years, you won't recognize this hole in particular because it's going to look very different from previous years. So in order to make sure that there's at least 18 holes to play out here, there's always going to be some variation as they continue to develop the area, construction. It'll be interesting to see what everything looks like in a few years. As I talked about coming out here our first year, 4 or 5 years ago maybe, is when we saw the La Quinta being put up, and just the various looks that we've seen of this property. Marwede picks up another. That's going to be his 5th in a row. So squarely keeping all the pressure on Barela as needed here. That momentarily pulls him within 2. Obviously, AB says the short tap in, but Marwede not letting up. And right now, it looks like it's going to be a 2-man race at this rate. We'll keep an eye, of course, on the chase card, but with the advantage that AB had over even his fellow lead card mates, I don't know that anyone's going to be able to shoot a hot enough score to come actually contend with AB off our chase card. Big shout out to our friends at Grip as I head over to hole number 6, just 305 feet. Features a double Mando. You must navigate through the center of those 2 trees. And initially, it may seem like those 2 are in line with one another. And I guess depending on what angle you are, they are. But the second one on the right is actually offset. So it's a little deeper than the one on the left. Well, that gets hung up early, so it actually doesn't miss the Mando. It was definitely tracking to do so, to miss the right side of the tree, and then he would have went to the drop zone and added a penalty stroke. But it looked like he got hung up and therefore didn't miss the Mando, so he'll still navigate through it. Bhrahsten, beautiful forehand. Gossage can do with that. Now, AB still needs to navigate left of this tree. Not really able to give it the height required. A little frustrated with it. And this is the first time I've seen Bhrahsten on my coverage, as far as I recall. And he's playing in pretty much what you would expect for someone from Arizona. Shelly Sharp, this event, Goat Hill, later playing Las Vegas, also playing Memorial Championship. So someone we'll see more of, I'm sure. And here's Marwede, who's going to pick up his 6th birdie in a row. And that is going to for sure pull him within 2 of AB. AB looking at a par here. So essentially doing everything he can possibly do at this point. Marwede 6 for 6 to get started and has cut his deficit from 4 in half down to 2. That's some quick math. And you don't even need the math, because if you go out to Distinguished Doodle, they will give you a 20% discount. Just click on the link that's down in the description of this video. It'll bring you to the page affiliated with me. They'll give you a 20% discount just for shopping with them and for watching disc golf. I don't know how you go wrong with that. AB not challenging the right side at all. Of course, that high right side is where you find the out of bounds. Also left side fence, but with a forehand, I'm sure they're not necessarily concerned about that. The matter is getting it up and the wind pushing it too hard right. That almost guarantees you a bogey. Bhrahsten wants that to push right as well. And if you think about names of songs that have push in the title, I'll let you think on that for a moment. There's 2 that come to mind for me. All right. So clearly, Push It by Salt and Peppa, right? That's obviously the first one that has to come to mind. And is the second one maybe Matchbox 20? That's what I need to know in the comments. And I clearly have dated myself in every possible way with those 2 references. AB looking to push on this hole with a birdie possibly, and he's going to do just that. What a putt by AB. Bhrahsten had gone long, so he still has a look for birdie. Certainly obstructed. And to be fair, I don't think I can think of a third song off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys who are far more sophisticated and wide-ranging in your musical experiences can tell me of one, but that's what I need to know. Or if they're your favorites, one of those two are your favorites, tell me that as well. I've got jerky to give away, folks. Well, 7 is going to feel somewhat like a disappointment. Wow. Getting late in the week, folks. Feel like somewhat of a disappointing par here. Oh, Marwede's not concerned about pars. 7 for 7. Going to keep it rolling with our Zuka. Over to hole number 8. Our second par 4. Both 8 and 9 are par 4s. A little over 700 and a little over 600. So about 1,300 feet of golf coming up in the next 2 holes. I think that 1,300 feet is longer than my favorite course, 18-hole course. Marwede out in the middle. We'll see if he can keep it going. Much higher angle here. Making sure he stays away from the OB canal on the right side. Just pushing left of center. Well, 8, you were probably wondering, I wonder how it plays. Yeah, just barely under par. Average 3.87 on the day. Much easier than it played the day before, which is very interesting to me. And the day before that, it played the toughest. So maybe these guys are really getting it figured out as the weekend goes on. The play is off to the right. Oh, and just off the chains. A near eagle for Marwede. Just when I was saying he can't play any better, Marwede almost puts it in for the eagle, too. And at this point, Barela has to be thinking, man, what is going on with this guy? I can't seem to shake him. Barela, of course, having a great round himself, but an almost above perfect round for Marwede. Above perfect? Is that a thing? Better than perfect? I mean, at no point are you thinking, yeah, I should probably just go 10 under in the front 9 or something crazy like that, or 9 under through the first 8. You're not thinking that. That'd just be greedy, right? As if 8 of 8 isn't good enough. And if this hole played tough, these guys didn't get the memo today. We've got it surrounded. You know, of course, Marwede, besides being the insanely good putter he is, if he were a real tough guy, he'd bust out the cookie out here in Arizona. And after making a putt, he'd pick up his cookie off the dirt and eat that. Just saying. You can play tough with your cookie. You got to do it everywhere. Will that make him one tough cookie? Oh, my God. I set myself up for that without even knowing it. All right. One tough cookie is up. Yes, I'm laughing at my own stupid jokes again. Hole 9. Marwede is 8 for 8 thus far. Barela 6 for 8, leaving everyone else in the dust at the moment. Wow, we've got a hat loss. Hat toss. Barela putting a little extra pepper on it. Nine today is playing on the easier side. 3.81 overall. Looks like the 5th easiest hole on the course. And Gossage is going for it. He's not going for the pin, but I mean, he's going to get as much as he can. He needs to get something moving here. Currently just 1 down through the front 9. Bhrahsten sits 3 under through the front. All right, maybe he needs the eagle here. Plays the hillside skip. He'll have a look for birdie. Wow, so both AB and Gossage have looks for eagle here. Albeit long looks. They both have them. And Marwede, who's played 8 for 8 through the front, actually goes considerably deep. He's out in circle 2. Little ground play off the approach. And that's trouble. Maybe providing AB with some reprieve. Or possibly at least a momentary sigh of relief. To let him know he's not going to shoot a perfect round anymore. Bhrahsten doesn't connect off the cage. Now AB. But AB can't take advantage. So still not a short putt that Marwede has as a comebacker. One you'd expect him to make, though. And he'll do just that. AB had a chance, really for the first time this round, to gain a stroke on Marwede, but it isn't able to take advantage of it. So roughly the same distance for AB's comebacker that we just saw from Marwede. Black ground, a little bit of wind, but center chain. So Barela will go into the back 9 with just a 2-stroke lead. Marwede has cut it in half. It was 4 when they started, down to 2. And I really have no doubts about this being just a 2-man race. We're going to start heading into the back 9. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite song is with Push in it. And you can win some jerky. I love all you guys for tagging along, watching the action here in Maricopa, some of our early season 2023 superstars. Big shout out to Sam and Chuck Russ and the whole crew over also at Infinite. Thank you for being our presenting sponsor of the event. AB and Marwede out in front of everyone else. See some other solid rounds, but not sure it's going to be enough. Tune in for the exciting conclusion for the back 9 of round 3. We'll see you there.